we just want to say thank you so much for everybody who has been tuning into our videos and for subscribing. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do so that you can stay connected with us and so that you can see all the new videos that we have coming out. And also, we love hearing from you guys. So however this video speaks to you today, we want you to just comment that below. Maybe there was like a one-liner or just something that spoke to you. Go ahead and comment that below so that we could just continue to connect with you guys, because we love doing so.
And we really appreciate you. Well, hey, today my wife and I want to talk to you about a subject called "What's for you will find you." My wife and I are firm believers of this because we believe in relationships that people often make it really difficult. And if we could be really honest with you, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why we say this is because what's for you is actually right in front of you. And I think sometimes what happens in relationships is that, you know, we think it's going to be this difficult thing where we have to travel somewhere or we have to do X, Y, and Z in order to meet up with this person. Hey, maybe that might happen. Maybe you know, your lover is in France or somewhere. Okay, we understand that, we get it. But more times than not, what's for you is right in front of you. And oftentimes we're just not aware of it. You know, take for instance our story. We're a story where we just stumbled upon each other. You know, some people today might not know about our story. So let's talk about our story and how we met.
Well, I just think it's crazy because there were so many connections along the way. Like, you're from Santa Barbara. When I wanted to go to college, I moved to Santa Barbara and then ended up, you know, life took its turns and I ended up back in San Diego. And little did I know, I didn't know him, but he moved to San Diego as well to help his uncle out with his church. And so one day he preached this message that changed my life. So I was like, I need to get involved here because, like, I just want to be a part of what God is doing in this young adult ministry. So I literally just started serving as like a greeter as people came into the doors. But me and my husband grew very close as friends and as ministry partners. And eventually, you know, as the years progressed, like, we ended up getting together and then we got married. And so I just always find it's interesting, like he said, like, your partner might be in France, but you don't have to go looking for that person. Like, if life leads you to France, then that's where you're going to end up going and you'll just meet that person. It's like, you don't have to force it, you know, like, you're going to find that person because somehow, some way you're going to cross paths with them because what's for you will always find you.
Yeah, I love that, love. And just going back to that place where we first met, I remember that day. I remember when I was preaching that day, and the next day I saw you at Starbucks, and I remember you told me, "Hey, Rich," and you know, my friend and I, we don't call you Mr. Hitch, but we call you Mr. Ditch because we just broke up with our partner. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about that. You're like, no, it's a good thing, but.
You look so sad.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, no, don't be sad.
I know.
It's okay. It was a good thing.
The funny thing is, though, love, is that you were right in front of me the whole time. And I know that we were friends, and I was actually dating someone at the time, and I didn't think nothing of that, but you were right in front of me. And later on, we just became friends, and from there, we built a relationship, and then eventually you and I got married.
Yeah.
The interesting part is that we didn't have to work for it. We didn't have to force the relationship. You know, we see a lot of people trying to force a relationship or trying to make it happen.
Yep.
The thing about you and I, we didn't force it. It just flowed. But one thing that I believe that God led me to you is that I was aware of your presence and you were aware of me.
Yeah.
And for some of you here watching today, one prayer I would really suggest for you is, hey, God, give me awareness. Help me to be aware what's right in front of me.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me in the scripture, the Bible teaches us about Ruth and Boaz, and the scripture teaches us that one day Boaz noticed Ruth and he asked questions, who is that girl? What's interesting is that the person that Boaz was about to marry was right in front of him.
Yeah.
It was right there. He didn't have to go off and go somewhere else. It was right there.
Yeah.
What are we trying to say? Hey, don't worry about tomorrow. That's what the scripture says in Matthew 6:34. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will take care of itself.
Exactly.
We really encourage you to focus on today and have awareness in your today, because the person that you're looking for is probably right in front of you, but you're making it a little difficult.
Yeah.
And I know you're probably saying, well, Rich, I don't see it. Keyword, you don't see it yet.
Yet, exactly.
Yet. But we believe in due time you will find that right person, because we believe what's for you will find you.